Are you having difficulty dealing with change in the workplace? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 tips on how to reduce the anxiety when it comes to the uncertainty of change. My name is Phil Ciccio, and I work with people all over the world helping them embrace change, right? There's always going to be change in the workplace or in your personal life, and most people are trying to resist it rather than embrace it. So in this video, what I'm going to help you do is overcome the anxiety of change and help you embrace it versus pushing back on it. The number one thing that you have to understand when it comes to change is that most often it's a story in our mind that's creating all of the stress, right? Most people, they hear the word change, and what they do is they create a story of the future and what that's going to look like. In other words, they time travel into a place that's in the future that creates anxiety for them. And their brain doesn't know that that story that they're creating, that the place that they're traveling to, isn't real. It thinks it's real, so it creates anxiety for them. So the number one thing you need to do is to change your story, right? If you're going to create a story of the future that's going to cause you anxiety, and the brain doesn't know it's not just a story and it creates that anxiety for you, you can also create a story that gives you a sense of well-being, right? It doesn't matter. If the brain doesn't know that the story isn't true, then why not create a story that makes you feel better? It's your perspective. You can look at a change and it can cause you anxiety, or you can look at a change the story, right? Change your perspective, and guess what? Create well-being. Help you, rather than resist it, help you embrace it. So number one is change your story. Now let's talk a little bit about the other 3 tips that I can help you with. The second tip is this. When we hear the word change, or we're thinking about change, it creates a sense of loss for us. We start to develop an idea of, what am I going to lose because of this change? Well, that doesn't serve us if we're thinking about what we're going to lose, right? So think about this. In psychological terms, we create emotional pain of loss. What am I going to lose based on this change? What I'd like you to do is think about what you could gain based on this change. And you know what? You can look back at your life and some of the things that have happened at work or in your personal life where change was, coming, and you created this story that caused you pain of what you were going to lose. And then once you're on the other side of it, you realize you didn't lose much at all. You actually probably gained something. So what I want you to be thinking about is, what can I gain from this change? The third thing, okay, and this is important, is the process. And so most people start to think about the process and what kind of pain the process is going to create, right? So most people are getting into another story of what the process is going to be like, and that process is probably going to be difficult. I'm going to have to learn something new. I'm going to have to create something new. I'm going to have to, skill up on something. And they create all kinds of pain around this, which creates resistance. Rather than thinking about how the process is going to be painful, why not think about what you could learn from the process, how you may grow from the process, how you might become a better person because of the process? That changes again. We go back to the number one thing, the internal story, and suddenly the story becomes something of growth and opportunity and becoming somebody that you aren't today versus the pain of the process, okay? And then the 4th tip, okay, and this one is critical to understand, is what we call outcome pain. Right? Most people are thinking about what it's going to be on the other side of this change, and how painful is the outcome going to be? Is it going to be worse than it is today? Are things going to be different and difficult, right? Rather than creating that story, and of course we go back to number 1, the story, okay? We have to think about what the outcome could be. Maybe it could be better on the other side. More likely it will be better on the other side, right? No change, no growth. No change, no opportunity. So think about the outcome as being positive. Maybe there's something better on the other side of it. Maybe your life will be less stressful. Maybe there'll be things in your life that you never knew existed because of this change. So focus on the outcome being positive. Look, change is inevitable, right? We can sit there and resist it, or we can embrace it. And if we think about the story that we create around change, and we know that that story is going to either make us feel bad or feel good, why not change the story so it makes us feel good? And then rather than having lost pain, why don't we think about what we could gain from this, okay? Rather than having process pain, why don't we think about what we can learn from this? And rather than having outcome pain, why don't we think about how wonderful the outcome could be if we change our perspective? Look, if you enjoyed this video, please like this video, or of course subscribe to this page. And if you know anybody who could benefit from this video, certainly share it with them. I hope you enjoyed this video. I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Thanks for watching.